What's up, YouTube? This your boy B-Boy Fat Shiny, and today I'm gonna do my WWE Hell in a Cell review on highlights you guys new. Hit that like button, helps YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel, follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok down below in the description. And let's get started. Now, Hell in a Cell was a terrible show. 3 matches were good, but the show was terrible. That's all I gotta say. We're kicking things off with Mandy Rose versus Natalya. This match was garbage. The match started with some exchange stretches of chain wrestling before Rose decides to up the intensity by whipping Natalya's throat into the ropes and attacking with strikes. Rose went for a few quick covers before using her legs for a body scissors around Natalya's waist. Natalya came back with a flurry of offense and a seated dropkick for a 2 count. Natalya was eventually able to maintain her upper hand long enough to lock up the sharpshooter for the finish. Rose continues to improve as in the ring talent, but this fell into the group of relatively by the numbers kickoff matches. Natalya defeats Mandy Rose, so the winner of the match, Natalya. That match was garbage. So we get match card number 2, the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Bianca Belair versus Bayley. This match was terrible. Went on the attack early and brought a chair into the equation, but missed on her first swing, allowing Belair to get a few quick near falls. Belair swung her braid into the chair several times, but Bayley grabbed it again, but found herself on the defensive again after diving her shoulder into the ring post. Bayley kept the attack focused on the arm before bringing the steel step into the ring. Bayley caught off a Belair comeback attempt by biting the champion in the arm. Belair finally got things going when she made Bayley pay for suspending a pair of double kendo sticks between the ring and the cell, hitting a spinebuster to drive Bayley through the sticks. Bayley come back by tying Belair's hair to a steel chair, upon which the challenger was seated. Bayley eventually was pulled forward into the same chair before Belair tied her hair around Bayley's wrist and dragged her around the cell, using a kendo stick and whipping Bayley into a cell walls. Bayley begged the referee to let her out of the cell, no effect, while Belair looked on while laughing. Bayley brought a ladder in the ring and used it sandwich Belair and hit a Rose plant. The ladder would lead to the finish as Belair took back over and hit a running senton on Bayley on top of the ladder, and then hit the kiss of death on the open ladder for the pinfall. Good stuff. Though maybe a little short of some lofty expectations, given Belair incredibly athleticism and Bayley experience inside Hell in a Cell. Belair, the winner of the match. The winner of the match is still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. This match was terrible. Moving on. So we get Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. This match was boring. Rollins attacked Cesaro during his entrance, but Cesaro still got the jump as soon as the match started, hitting a body slam and a big back body drop before hitting a boot to send Seth Rollins to the floor. Rollins used a thumb to the eye to put Cesaro on the defensive and open him up for a DDT. A Cesaro deadlift suplex led to Seth Rollins having to dump Cesaro to the outside when a backdrop and a springboard knee for a 2 count. Cesaro came back, removing Seth Rollins' glove and shoving it in Rollins' mouth before continuing his assault. Seth Rollins hit a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count, followed up with another near fall after a kick to the back of Cesaro's head. When Seth Rollins couldn't get the job done, Cesaro came back with a big Cesaro swing before locking in the sharpshooter. As Seth Rollins reached for the ropes to break the hold, Cesaro switched things up to a crossface before transitioning back to the sharpshooter. After Seth Rollins' attempt to reverse into a pinfall, Cesaro stomped on Rollins' arm as he attempted to reach the ropes again, but Rollins was able to roll him up for a small package for the win. The finish was a little odd, but this was the expectation solid match between Seth Rollins and Cesaro, two of the best in-ring competitors on the WWE roster. Seth Rollins defeated Cesaro. The match was boring. So we get Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. It says, I already knew Alexa Bliss was going to be Shayna Baszler, so this match did not take too long. This was a solid match right here. Alexa Bliss claimingly walked forward while Baszler hesitated to engage until Reginald caused this distraction at ringside, allowing Baszler to get her offense going with some strikes. Bliss continues to alternate between anger and happiness as Baszler continues to attack with kicks, punches to joint locks. During a wrist lock, Bliss yells at Baszler to look at her, and Baszler released the hold once she had. This allowed Bliss to unleash a fury of offense in a DDT for a near fall. Alexa Bliss then started down Nia Jax at ringside, forcing Nia Jax to mirror her movements and slap Reginald with her magic. Bliss then hits the sister Abigail and they twisted Bliss for the win. Nothing about this Alexa Bliss character works, and this remains a bad use for everyone involved. So the winner of the match, Alexa Bliss. Solid match. So we get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This match was pretty good. Kevin Owens took the fight right to Sami Zayn to get the match started, but Zayn used a few underhand tactics to get rolling offensively until he failed to suplex Kevin Owens, allowing Kevin Owens to reverse before a cannonball in the corner for a 2 count. After attacking Kevin Owens' arm and diving his throat, still affected by the Nigerian nail of Commander Aziz, into the ropes. Sami Zayn hit a big flipping dive over the top rope onto Kevin Owens on the outside. As the referee checks on Kevin Owens' arm, Sami Zayn ran towards with a boot. Kevin Owens fought back with a clothesline on the outside and tried a swanton from the ring apron, but Sami Zayn got his knees up to counter and hit a blue thunderbomb back in the ring for a near fall. Kevin Owens fought back with one arm, but Sami Zayn delivered a big exploder suplex to counter a stunner for another near fall. As the action spilled to the outside, Kevin Owens hit a stunner, but Sami Zayn barely beat the 10 count to stay alive. With Sami Zayn bleeding from the mouth, the two exchanged punches and headbutts from their knees. Sami Zayn hit a knee to the back of Kevin Owens, sending Kevin Owens' throat first into the bottom rope. Sami Zayn punches, hitting a hula kick for the win. This was good physical wrestling with a good storytelling playing out through Kevin Owens' toughness not being enough to overcome the damage to his body. The winner of the match, Sami Zayn. Alright, so we get the Raw Women's Championship, So we get the Raw Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Good match, but the ending was terrible. So they're still going to Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair are going to continue their feud at Money in the Bank. Watch, I tell you. Good match, but the ending was bad. Charlotte Flair attacked Rhea Ripley before the match actually begun, and then hit a big boot almost immediately after the opening bell. Flair kept Rhea Ripley on the defensive, dominating the early action while taunting the champion. Rhea Ripley comeback included a big dropkick from the top rope before locking in a high angle Texas Cobra Leaf before Charlotte Flair launches her into the turnbuckle. Charlotte Flair followed up with the natural selection and an attempt to use the middle rope for leverage on the pin. Charlotte Flair went for a moonsault from the top rope but landed on her feet and adjusted to a standing moonsault after Rhea Ripley attempted to roll out of the way, resulting in another near fall. Ripley, now dealing with an injured leg from the focus attack of Flair, managed to hit a superplex for a 2 count. As the momentum continued to swing wildly. Charlotte Flair went for an attack in the corner, but Ripley moved out of the way, allowing her to hit a riptide but too close to the ropes, allowing Flair to get her foot on the bottom rope. Flair went back to working on Ripley's leg before locking in a figure 8, but Ripley was able to pull herself through the bottom rope to the floor to escape. Ripley then pulled off the top of the commentary table and hit Flair with it, resulting in a disqualification and allowing Ripley to retain her title. Ripley continued the attack after the bell, eventually laying out Charlotte Flair with another riptide. This was a very good match, somewhat taken down by a really questionable finish that seems to not play into Rhea Ripley's position in the match at all. The winner by disqualification, Charlotte Flair, but still your Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley. Alright, let's move on. The main event of the evening. So we get the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. This was the match of the night right here. Lashley immediately dove from the ring to try and pull something from under the ring, but McIntyre followed, diving Lashley's face into the cell before slamming him into the wall. Lashley fired back using the ring steps, but McIntyre lifts him up for a suplex and launches him into the cell wall before grabbing the ring steps and twice rambling them into Lashley's head. The two big men continue to attack each other outside the ring. Lashley suffered a cut on his arm as McIntyre set up a table. MVP slid his cane through the cell, allowing Lashley to get the upper hand once again. After being rammed into the cage in the ring post several times by Lashley, McIntyre came back with his own version of Sheamus, white noise on the ring steps. McIntyre continued to dominate stretch before grabbing several chairs and throwing them into the ring, delivering a face-first slam to Lashley onto one of them. Lashley nearly locking the Hurt Lock, but McIntyre countered and hit a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Lashley fought back using the ring steps to ram McIntyre into the cell wall over and over before MVP helped trap McIntyre in the corner by sliding a candlestick through the chain link. Lashley brought McIntyre back into the ring and set up a chair before diving McIntyre into it with a pair of flatliners. Lashley hits McIntyre with a candlestick several times until McIntyre trapped it with his arm and used a chair before being shoved into the referee, who was knocked out of the ring. With the referee down, McIntyre hit a future shock DDT, but no one was there to make the count. McIntyre demanded a new referee enter the cell before laying Lashley out with a claymore. With the cell door open, MVP pulled the referee from the ring to make the save. MVP then found himself locked inside the cell and on the receiving end of McIntyre attacking, ending in a claymore. McIntyre was distracted enough to allow Lashley to lock in the Hurt Lock outside the ring, but McIntyre launches himself backwards through the table to break the hold. Back in the ring, McIntyre lined up another claymore after using a steel chair to attack Lashley but Lashley was able to duck out of the way and send McIntyre through a table at ringside with a chokeslam. McIntyre countered a spear from Lashley and hit another preacher shot and went for a Claymore, only to have MVP grab his leg to set up Lashley for a roll-up to steal the win. Good violent stuff from the two bruiser and a refreshing edition of Hell in a Cell that didn't require a big bump from the top or side of the cage, even if it was another match on the night with an odd finish. And thankfully, Lashley can now move on from McIntyre. The winner of the match is still your WWE Champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley. And Hell in a Cell goes off the air. Like I said, there was only three matches that were good, but the show was terrible, but 3 matches were good. And my favorite part about Hell in a Cell was Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Champion. That was the match of the night. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE Hell in a Cell review and highlights, please drop a like on this video. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel. I'm on the road to 4K subscribers. Follow my social media, my Twitter, BigBoyJohn25, my Instagram, BigBoyFactsJohnny, and my TikTok, BigBoyFactsJohnny. And I will see you guys tomorrow on my WWE Raw review and highlights. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Stay safe and stay strong. And always stay positive. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'm out of here.